Tori here today with another process video. Today I'm working in my XOXO mini album on a layout all about one of my best friends, Tosin. So, Tosin and I met in 7th grade. She had just moved from Nigeria, and we have been best friends ever since. And so some of these photos today are like really, really old. They're like a throwback for sure. Because I'm just looking at some of those photos and realizing that like a lot of them were taken in like elementary school or high school, which was a long time ago. So you're going to see a little bit of throwback here. So I am working with these photos of one of my best friends, Tosin, and I'm also working with the Quilted Heart collection and the Take Me Away collection by Pink Paisley. So I'll just let you know what I'm using when. I think almost everything I use is from the Quilted Heart collection, except for a few of the embellishments. So I really wanted to go with pink just because I thought that it's my favorite color and I thought it would look really good with all these photos. So I'm starting on the right hand side, and I really wanted to use this heart cut file that Teresa designed, and I wanted to back it with a bunch of scraps. So I first took that pink I Love You to the Moon whatever called paper and put it behind the large photo of Tosin and I. And then on the left hand side, I'm cutting down some other pink papers from my stash from the Quilted Heart collection, and just making my own kind of project life or journaling cards. By the way, I did want to mention, if you're ever looking for any of the supplies I mentioned and you can't find the link or whatever, just let me know and I'd be happy to forward you there. I also try to link everything over on my blog, toribissell.com, so you can head over there if you're ever wondering, and if I forget to link it, you can always let me know too. So I'm doing the classic backing a cut file with patterned paper technique, so I'm not going to make you sit through all of that, but basically it was a really finicky cut file, so I had to go slowly and carefully, and I just took all the different scraps from my stash and kind of backed that cut file. I wanted it to work really well with the collection, so I figured if I used all the other scraps that I had been making pages out of for the rest of the album, then it would look like it went really well together. So I am using a glue pen for this, and I just wanted to show you kind of how I did the first one, and then I'll skip ahead. I traced it on the paper and then trimmed it out, and then just added a little bit of glue to the cut file, glued it down, boom, bam, moving forward. And you can see there that I finished backing the whole cut file. A couple of those papers do come from the Take Me Away collection by Pink Paisley. I loved making this layout. I have been friends with Tosin since 7th grade, and that was, let's see, maybe like 13 years ago or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember how old I am. And as I was making this page, all of a sudden it dawned on me that I have never, and this kind of breaks my heart, I have never created a scrapbook page just about this girl and how much I love her and how long we've been friends. And that kind of like breaks my heart that this person who is so important to me doesn't show up in my scrapbooks. And part of the reason why she doesn't show up is because she is currently in med school in the US, so she's traveling a lot, and we don't get to see each other as much as we did back when we were in school. And so I don't get to see her all the time, and that means that she's not in a lot of my recent photos. And because I've primarily been scrapbooking recent photos and event-based photos, she doesn't end up in the photos, which is just so heartbreaking to me. Like, honestly, I think if I were to go back to the last 2 years I've been scrapbooking and look through all of my albums, she probably shows up in there like maybe once or twice. And that is something that needs to be rectified. So I'm so glad I'm making this little mini album all about the people that I love, because it's kind of reminding me how I need to scrapbook those people and not just the events and not just the current things. I don't know if that's just like a problem that I face. I wonder if other people face it too. So maybe you could leave a comment below and think about your life and the people that you really love and ask yourself, do each of those people who you really care about, that you've been friends with for a long time, actually make it into your album? Because it's possible that they might not, especially if you don't see them a lot or if they don't take a lot of photos or whatever. So I'm so glad that I did this. So the next step I did was I backed all of the photos. I matted them all with white paper. I should have just printed them off with a white border. I don't know why I didn't, but I really wanted the white border to be on there, so I just added it with some white cardstock. And then I got to gluing those down. After I've got all of those down, I'm going to start working on my embellishments. I really wanted a title with her name and my name on it, or me. So I went to these sparkly thickers and I decided to write Tosin and me. Now, I know there is somebody who's going to leave a comment and say, shouldn't it be Tosin and I? And actually, no, it shouldn't. Because if this is a photo of me, then it's a photo of Tosin and me, not a photo of Tosin and I. So that's my little English lesson for you today. This is Tosin and me. If you can say me or I without the other person's name, then you can say it is Tosin and I. But you wouldn't say this is a photo of I, you would say this is a photo of me, so this is a photo of Tosin and me. Anyways, I added that title with those turquoise, really gorgeous American Crafts stickers, or they're kind of like foam. And then there was this one gold die cut that said Love is Golden, and I really, really liked that. And it was in the Take Me Away ephemera pack, so I added that to that blank pink card there on the side, and I just thought it would be really sweet touch. And I wanted to add some other gold elements on the layout, so I figured if I add it there, then it can add some other ones as well. Now, at this point, I was feeling like, what other embellishments should I add? So I went to the chipboard sticker sheet just to see if there was anything on there. And there were a couple of these gold banners. That one said, "Today is awesome." And there was another one that said, "Keeping it real," which I thought would be really funny with the photo at the top. Honestly, I think that photo was taken in 7th or 8th grade, where she's got like this gangster hat on that she had borrowed and she was like making peace signs, and I just thought the "keeping it real" would be a really cute like phrase to go underneath that photo, so I'm gonna add that as well in just a moment. I did look to see if there were any other elements that I wanted to add. In the Take Me Away collection, there were these like really cute little buttons, so I'm going to use a couple of those too. You'll notice I added a little lavender purpley one at the bottom photo. I find it really hard to scrapbook with purple, but I was wearing a purple shirt in that photo, so I figured I could add a little purple to the layout as well. And I'm pulling out these yellow enamel dots that I had on my desk and sticking a couple of those on the layout too. I think at this point I'm starting to think about my journaling and what I want to add. It's funny, I listened to the Scrap Gals podcast, and I think Tracy's always talking about how she likes to think about the journaling first, but I don't really do that. I like to work on the layout first, and then I obviously save space for the journaling, especially in a layout like this where I'm trying to write a love letter to somebody. But I figure if there's not enough space, I can just add a little insert or something, so just make it happen the way I want it to. And I wanted to add a couple of labels underneath that like photo collage kind of that I had made on that one journaling card, because it felt like an empty space. So it's just going through the different die cut labels and pieces and stuff to see what I could use. And I finally land on these two rectangular labels, and I'm just going to kind of layer them up and add them on the bottom of that photo. So I love layering labels. I don't know, I feel like that's like one of the things that I just go back to over and over again, just because I feel like one label is good, but two labels is like 10 times better. I don't know, that's weird. It's just a weird knack or something I have, I don't know. So I took a blue one and a green one and labeled them up, and I felt like it brought some of the blue and green that was on the right hand side over. I felt like it needed just a little bit more, so I pulled out my tiny attacher and added some staples in a few places, like on those labels, and also on that Keeping It Real gold banner under my friend Tosin's photo. And next, I'm just going to see if there's any other embellishments or anything that I want to add, but I decided to start doing my journaling. So I just freehand drew some lines with a black pen, and I'm just going to add my journaling just all about her, how much I love her, and how we met in 7th grade and I've loved her ever since, and how she's like a sister to me and how we just get along so well. And how I love that even though we don't get to see each other a lot because we're so busy and she's in med school, that we still can like pick up wherever we left off. And I kind of just share the things that I already shared with you about all the reasons why she's fantastic and goofy and silly, but she's my bestie and I love that girl so much. So I hope that she finishes med school soon and comes home, because I'm sick and tired of her living in the US. She needs to come back to Canada, for goodness sakes, seriously. I am just using a black pen. Actually, I think this is a 0.5 black pen, and it's from the Illustrated Faith collection. I don't know, I had those journaling pens just sitting on my desk, and I thought, why not? Just pull it out and use it. And I'm writing my journaling as a love letter, basically, like, Dear Tosin, here's all the reasons why I love you. XOXO Tori. I wanted to add some journaling on the right hand side of the page as well, so I just add it to the right of that cut file that I had backed earlier, just to add a few more lines about all the reasons why I think she's fantastic. And then when I'm all done, I'm just going to wrap that up with adding like a little XOXO love Tori kind of thing, just like I've done on every other page in this mini album. By the way, if you are interested in checking any of the other layouts that are love notes to the people that I really care about, there is a playlist on my channel called XOXO Mini Album, and you can check that out. Or you can always head over to my blog, which is found at toribissell.com, to see all the other pictures and videos and process videos and all that epic goodness. So that's basically it for this layout. I did add on the labels just the word bestie, and I think like since 7th grade or something like that. And that's pretty much it for this layout. Once I am done adding that, I'm going to slow this down and hold up each of the cards or each of the pages just so that you can get a better look. But if you'd really like to see the photos or an even better look of this layout, head over to my blog. I'm going to have photos and some more details, as well as you can read the journaling over there if you're interested in reading what I wrote or checking out the close-up photos of this layout. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I love hearing what you think. Do you like the layout? What do you like the best? I don't know. Leave me a comment. I want to hear from you. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll check you out later with another video. Bye!